In the heart of the ancient kingdom of Varos, where towering castles touched the clouds and whispers filled the winding streets, there was one name that stirred both fear and awe: Rael, the master thief. Not just any thief, he was the legend, the thief who never failed, never left a trace. He was the shadow in the dark, the whisper on the wind, the thief who robbed the rich and left only stories in his wake. But Rael had made one mistake. He'd stolen from King Vihan, the cruelest, most feared ruler the land had ever known. He'd taken something far more dangerous than gold. He'd stolen a scroll, sealed in black wax, with a message that could shatter the kingdom. The king's wrath was absolute. His soldiers scoured the land, spreading word of the theft. They searched every corner of Varos, every shadow, every soul. And yet, Rael vanished. No one could catch him. Not the best trackers, not the king's most trusted men. And then, one day, Rael appeared in the king's own court, but not as the thief, as a storyteller. The grand feast was underway. The king, surrounded by his nobles, raised his goblet in a show of power. The air was thick with the scent of roasting meats and fresh wine. And then Rael stepped forward. In disguise, hidden in plain sight, his voice smooth and calm. "Your Majesty, I have traveled far, and I bring a tale of a great thief. A thief who stole a kingdom's treasure, but left a kingdom's soul behind." The king, intrigued yet suspicious, leaned forward. Rael continued, "I ask only 3 promises before I share this story, my lord. 3 simple promises, and then I will reveal the truth." The king chuckled, amused. "You are bold, thief, but I shall honor your promises." "What are they?" Rael's eyes flickered with a quiet fire as he spoke, the words drawing everyone in. "First, you must listen to the end of the story. Second, if the story reveals a truth, you must honor it, no matter who it condemns. And third, if the truth is revealed, and I walk out of here unharmed, you will let me go." The king laughed, raising his goblet high. "A thief's demands are bold, but I will grant them. Speak, and speak quickly." Rael began. He wove a tale of a young orphan, betrayed by the very man who'd promised to protect him. A tale of guards who had no honor, of nobles who trampled over the weak, of a king who, blinded by greed, stole not just treasure, but the lives of those who once called him father. Rael spoke of the scroll, not as a map to riches, but a letter of truth, a letter that revealed the king's darkest secret. The truth that Vihan had betrayed his people, that his wealth had been built on lies. Rael told of the betrayal, the fire that had burned down families, the people who had cried for justice, and yet none came. As the tale unfolded, the king's face began to change. His smile faded. His grip on his goblet tightened. The nobles around him shifted nervously. "And that," Rael said softly, "is why I stole from you, to show the kingdom who you truly are." The room was silent, deathly silent. The king's eyes narrowed, his anger rising, but Rael was calm. "You promised, my lord. You promised to honor the truth." A cold shiver ran through the room. Vihan's voice trembled, but he could not deny what had been said. "What do you want from me?" the king growled. Rael stood tall and faced the king. "First," he said, "you'll release all the prisoners in your dungeons who are there for crimes they did not commit. Second, you will take back every piece of gold you stole from the people and return it to them. And third," Rael's eyes glinted with fire. He took a step closer, lowering his voice as the room held its breath. "And third, if I walk out of here alive, you will never harm another soul in this kingdom again." The king hesitated. His hands trembled, and for a moment, Rael thought he might fight. But then, the king did something unexpected. He stood, silent, and then finally, he spoke. "I promise." And so Rael left the palace, just as he had promised. The king, broken by his own admission, kept his word. The prisoners were freed, the gold returned, and the kingdom, once ruled by fear, began to heal. But the Midnight Thief, as Rael was now known, was never seen again. His mask, never found. Sometimes the greatest thieves don't steal wealth. They steal the truth.